8 most expensive motorcycles ever sold all over the world. The average price for a new motorcycle is around $5,000 to $10,000. If you're buying a moped or scooter, it's even cheaper. However, some vintage limited edition motorcycles are sold for millions and even tens of millions of dollars. At that price, it's hard to imagine anyone taking it out for a joyride. Let's take a look at the most expensive motorcycles ever sold. Number 1. Harley-Davidson Butcher Blue Edition. Sold for $13 million. As of January 2020, the Harley-Davidson Blue Edition is categorically the world's most expensive motorcycle. The single-shot passion project was built by Swiss watch and jewelry giant, Butcherer, in partnership with bike expert, Bike. While the Blue Edition is inspired by a Harley-Davidson Softail Slim S, it barely looks the same as the original, what with its tailored rims and frame, gold-plated components, and a rotating camshaft that is visible through a window. The bike virtuosos of Bike used a special coating technique to achieve the Harley-Davidson Butcherer Blue's deep, opalescent blue. Not to mention each metal element used for this once-in-a-lifetime machine has been designed, created and brought to shine by hand. The masterwork, a special member of the Butcherer Blue family, took over 2,000 hours to perfect by an 8-man team. With a whopping price tag of $13 million, the wonderfully out-of-this-world Harley was presented for the first time at a Zurich, Switzerland event in 2018. Number 2. Neiman Marcus Limited Edition Fighter. Sold for $11 million. Prestigious department store chain Neiman Marcus had nothing to do with motorcycles until the day it decided to build the world's second most expensive luxury bike today. Known as Limited Edition Fighter, the model entered the market with a not-so-low starting price of $110,000. Turned out things would only get wilder from there. Because of the bike's remarkable uniqueness, its price skyrocketed uncontrollably. Today, its value is approximately $11 million. Neiman Marcus only made 45 of these limited editions, which were branded with the concept, evolution of the machine, towards optimal performance. There is no question about the Fighter as a neat-looking bike that offers a neater ride. But though people might assume it's not meant for the road, it's totally street legal. It's also such a stunner in its own way, its simplicity so humbling yet filling the rider with pride. Number 3. P90 AJS Porcupine. Sold for $7 million. The Porcupine is a big bike famous worldwide for its motorsports accomplishments and, of course, its legendary, ageless design. The fact that there are only 4 of these beauties around the globe and that catching one on the road brings a sense of amazement, helps explain its humongous price tag. The manufacturer behind the Porcupine, despite its colored history and killer racetrack legacy, experienced financial turmoil during its early years, producing no more than 4 units in 1949. Surprisingly, one of these won the 1949 World Championship riding famous British biker Les Graham. Originally designed for supercharging as other pre-war racing bikes, the Porcupine's motor was recreated to work without a supercharger, which the FICM prohibited in 1946. The 1949 version carried a price tag of $7 million. The National Motorcycle Museum was the Porcupine's home for the last 20 years in Coventry before getting sold. Number 4. Ecos Spirit. Sold for $3,600,000. The making of the Ecos Spirit was driven by a Formula One inspiration. The slick bike was clearly built for one and only one thing: speed. Its smooth and aerodynamic body allows it to reveal the beast that it is, and the fact that an actual course is required for a driver to restrain the monster shows just how powerful it is. There are only 10 spirits that roam the earth, each one costing an astounding $3.6 million. Indeed, the machine is a dreamy one, custom-made and boasting a body made of cutting-edge carbon fiber. Furthermore, the bike comes with an electronic control system that makes it easier to handle by any rider. As promised by the manufacturers, these big bikes are completely developed, F1 tier speed machines available at least a year behind the production model. True to its F1 character, the bike has an ergonomic fitment akin to the F1 driver's seat, sophisticated composite construction, preferred engine output specs, and electronic control systems, hence creating a bi-wheel F1 innovation. Number 5. Hildebrand and Wolfmuller. sold for $3,500,000. Celebrate the world's first ever production motorbike, the Hildebrand and Wolfmüller, created in 1984 by the collaboration of Munich-based steam engineers Heinrich and Wilhelm Hildebrand, and engineer and inventor Alois Wolfmüller. When it first came out, the Hildebrand and Wolfmüller amazed the engineering world so much it began a sustained and productive tradition of vehicles now beloved by so many all over the world. The first bike was huge and came with a 1.5L 4-stroke 2-cylinder, big by today's standards, but the fact that the bike could only run at a maximum speed of 28 miles per hour tells us how far automotive industry has come. While more visible models these days are some of those that have survived the last century, adding to the price, any of them could sell for no less than $3.5 million given the right buyer. In short, the bike has been sold time and again for a much lower price. After World War I, the Hildebrand and Wolfmüller factory shut down, but the motorcycle was built by Duncan and Superbie in Paris. A Hildebrand and Wolfmüller is not the smoothest ride, but riding it can give any rider the opportunity to own a bit of history that can be fondly remembered for a lifetime. Number 6. Harley-Davidson Cosmic Starship, sold for $3 million. With a name that couldn't be more fitting, the Harley-Davidson Cosmic Starship is indeed an out-of-the-universe experience by itself. The Cosmic Starship was first revealed to the public in a 2010 red carpet event at Bartell's in Marina del Rey, California. Launching night had the Harley descending from the sky and glistening with over 100,000 lights around it. Celebrities swarmed the event and helped give the event worldwide attention, eventually giving it iconic status as the then only $1 million Harley in history. As soon as the Cosmic Starship was finished, it was put in the market with a $1 million price tag. Even if it ended up selling for $3 million in 2012. Interestingly but not surprisingly, it appears to have returned to the market, selling for a staggering price tag of $10 million. Surely, any artist can paint on a bike, but the magic behind this Harley is beyond itself. It is the art that Armstrong had transformed it into, the way only Armstrong could. Moreover, it's the one and only bike that the world-renowned artist worked on, driving up its price all the more. Number 7. Vincent Black Lightning, sold for $929,000. Among the most famous big bikes ever made is the Vincent Black Lightning, which also became 2018's most expensive motorcycle when it fetched $929,000 at a Las Vegas auction. Australian racer Tony McAlpine first brought home the Vincent Black Lightning brand new. While it was being built, another of the Vincent series, the Gunga Din, was being constructed at the plant. When they were both done, they were launched into a race where McAlpine's Black Lightning ended up a good 30 yards in front of its sibling, running at speeds above 130 miles per hour in third gear. As soon as the Black Lightning was purchased by Jack Errett and won several races all over Australia, it gained worldwide attention and became known both as the most important Vincent, as well as one of the most coveted machines ever invented. Eventually, the bike was bought in its original and running form by well-known Vincent tuner and restorer, Patrick Goddett. Number 8. Cyclone Board Track Racer, sold for $852,500. It can be described as a fancy banana yellow big bike, but a century back, the Cyclone Board Track Racer was the most badass of its kind around the globe. It is said that only 12 units of this bike have come out alive from the last 100 years, including one that sold for a dumbfounding $852,000 at a Las Vegas Mecum auction. What's even more unbelievable about this bike is that despite its awesome look and historic value, it actually reached a top speed of 111 miles per hour, piquing the attention of the boss himself and now previous owner, Steve McQueen. Remaining in the exact perfect shape as it was from day one, the ride can only get pricier. The Cyclone was designed by none other than Swedish engineer Andrew Strand, and constructed by Minnesota's Joe Ernst Motor Manufacturing Company. Essentially a track racer, it is a very basic ANDB lightweight machine that comes with low-set handlebars and zero brakes, along with shaft and bevel-driven overhead cams and semicircular combustion chambers, both considered revolutionary at the time of its creation.